Good evening, students. Welcome to this session on paper 7A Enterprise Information System. We'll be starting the session, but I think many of you have joined. So let us say good evening to all. So Manasa, good evening. Kiran, then Diksha, Komal, Harshita, Madhuri, then Rajiv Kumar Singh, Manisha. Okay, so it appears it's not a special batch only for female students, but the good evening is 100% by female students. So good evening to all, and my best wishes to all of you. So let us start the chapter. Okay. So now we have Darshan, then Kavita, Harshit, Bhumika, uh, Gunapalli Prasanna, Ritika Joshi. So good evening to all. Let us start. Let us go ahead. So because time is always going to be a constraint in this discussion we are going to have. I have kept a separate system where I can see all your chat online. I'll request you to pose as many questions as you can during the session itself. We'll keep it as much interactive as we can so that we can learn a lot from this discussion we are having. And then we all thank Board of Studies for having these classes live. I understand, I realize that many students across India have been taking these classes, and it's a really great help they all get. So let us thank Board of Studies, and I also thank them for having me there. So let us start. So let us see how many of you have more joined. Then we have Ritika, Nirupama, Chirangi, Neha, Shweta, Shatrughan, and Sunil Kumar. So let us say good evening to all and let us start this. So we are talking of paper 7A, Enterprise Information System. We'll be talking about chapter 1, but we'll have first a discussion on the whole syllabus itself, and then we'll go to the chapter itself. As we all realize that November 2023 is the last attempt for this paper, and you are going to have new syllabus coming from the next session, May 2024. So all our efforts have to be like this, that we all clear our examinations in this attempt. We will not carry it to the next attempt. So let us try to do it this way only. Yeah. Then we have Manav and Madhav. Great. So let us go with the chapter. So it's a standard disclaimer because a lot of discussions we do. So it's basically whatever I talk about, whatever I share would be in terms of helping understand the idea behind things, how things are working, what are the processes there. Then I've told you, please ask questions during the session itself. Don't wait for the end of the session. Ask. So as you put your questions here, so during the course of discussion, I'll try to answer all your queries. Then, so I'm asking, I ask a lot of questions, okay? So the first question, and I generally start my lecture is that, what is your understanding? This subject is theory or practical? Put your answers here. Allow me to go ahead. So what is your call on the subject? You say it is a theory subject or a practical subject? Okay. So these are the chapters. Chapter 1, automated business processes. We'll be talking about the same today. Then financial and accounting system, information system and its components, e-commerce, m-commerce, and emerging technologies, and core banking system. So the whole idea about this chapter has been, this paper has been that as you go in service or as you go in practice, lot of technology is there. So all those technology updates need to be shared with you. Even with this, this topic not being part of the syllabus in the coming syllabus, it is not going to make much of a difference in terms of the learning you are going to have, because whatever you are going to learn, you are going to practically apply once you complete your chartered accountancy, once you get your degree, once you get your qualification. Maybe you going in service or in practice, or you may start your own venture, entrepreneurship. So whatever you may be doing, whatever we learn today is always going to be useful. After your qualification also, it will be useful, and it is going to be useful during your articleship also. So the next question that I want you to answer is, how many of you are doing articleship, pursuing articleship? So you have to say yes, no. Doing articleship, say yes, no. let us see the practical and theory question. Okay. So Kiran says both, a mixture of theory and practical. Madhuri says practical. Bhumika says practical. Anchal fully theoretical. Great. I was waiting for this answer. Then Harshit says theoretical. Kavita, theory with practical life terms. I say life examples. Darshan says both, sir, partial this, partial that. Sunil, it is theory. Okay, but we will try to make it as practical as this, Sunil. Thank you. Then Rajiv says it's Rajiv Kumar, theory subject. Diksha says theory. Harshita says theory with practical implications. Manasa says Tanuku Manasa, it's a theory subject. Kiran says more on practical side. Madhav, I think both. Manisha says practical. Then Darshan is asking, sir, ChatGPT is part of syllabus. I don't know, right? As of now, it is not part of the basic content, but during the course of our discussion, we'll try to learn something that we can do from ChatGPT. On the simplest question, is it part of the syllabus? The answer is no, but it is part of life now. So you must be doing. Okay. So I got the answer, practical and theory. So see, my take is the whole syllabus is 100% practical. There is not a single theoretical word in this module. See, the examples we are going to talk about, they will all be real life examples. You start your day, and by the time you end your day, just understand the technology integration your life has. Every aspect of your life has been integrated with technology. So to me, this subject is absolutely practical and it's absolutely scoring subject. So as we go about, I'll be sharing lot of practical examples. So you can carry it. Then we will have small sessions on how to approach the paper in examination, how you answer your questions in examination, so that we can improve our score, so that we can improve good in our examination. So this subject is practical. Then, okay, so some of you are doing articleship, some of you are not doing articleship. Okay, and someone is doing both parallelly. Great, good. Okay, so Varsha says she has done articleship quite back. Don't worry, but because you are in working life now, so whatever you learn, you can apply practically in whatever work you are doing. So it is going to be a real learning session. So let us go ahead. So automated business process, this chapter talks about the automation that you do in your businesses, the technology that you input in your business, then financial and accounting system, how you integrate your system with your financial system, how to improve upon that. Then information systems and its components, the core components of information system, input, process, output, all those discussions. E-commerce, M-commerce, emerging technology, you all know about it. So there we'll have a learning discussion on ChatGPT. We'll try to bring it. See, it's not part of the syllabus. We'll try to find some time to talk about it. And the last is chapter 5, core banking system. In fact, those of you who are doing articleship, or those who may be on the practice, who are going to go for articleship later on, in your articleship, one of the things that we all do is bank audits. So core banking system, when we learn about that chapter, you are going to see how the technology has phenomenally changed the whole banking system. Then I'll be sharing a lot of cases, live cases with you. Just keep those cases with you. Few of the students in the previous sessions, they did ask what they need to note from this class. हमारी इस class में किस चीज को note करने की जरूरत है? What things you may note? So just updating you. So the whole presentation is based on Institute's module. The only one thing that I want you to keep a note of, which is going to help you learn, which I personally feel like that, is the examples that we are going to share. And what I basically try to do, share as much practical examples from real life situations. So remembrance is easy. Reproduction of the examples in your exam is also easy. The only one thing that is necessitated is that you logically relate it to the topic that we are going to talk about. So this is one thing that I want you to keep a note of. whatever examples we are going to share, so that whenever you are revising for your examination, with those examples, you can remember the whole topic. You can give those examples in your examination answers also. And I want all of you to give these examples, how you're going to format your answers along with the examples. It's part of the discussion. We are going to have it. Okay. Okay, so few of you are doing articleship and few are not doing articleship. Okay. So my name was there. I am C. Atul Gupta, like that. Okay. So let us start. So we'll be talking about chapter 1 today. Automated business processes. So we'll have introduction to the chapter, and these are the topic headings. And one thing I've already told, you can keep note of the examples we are going to talk about, we are going to share. Now, what is the idea? See, automated business process. Suppose I ask you this question. In fact, let us do with a learning question. See, I understand that we all have faced, you also crossed the COVID phenomena. COVID has been, the lockdown had been a historical event in terms. None of us is going to forget that period till the rest of our life. So then phase 1, phase 2, then we all got vaccination for COVID. And I think our scientists across India have worked phenomenally well. We have been saved by the vaccination given to all of us. Now, what is the question that I want to put to you? The question that I'm putting to you is that during COVID, you have experienced businesses have evolved themselves. There were a number of businesses that were hit very badly due to COVID, all in hospitality industry, tourism, hotel, travel, those businesses which had this personal contact with people. So all these businesses were hit very badly. But what I want you to answer in the chat is, the businesses that you observe have evolved themselves during COVID, which have redelivered, reconfigured themselves, which have changed the way they deliver their services during COVID. You have all realized that. I'm not using more words to ask my question. What I want you to tell me is, those businesses in and around your locality, your residential locality, wherever you are working, wherever you are staying, you must have seen in the last 3 years or first year of COVID lockdown itself, those businesses which have evolved. Evolution for us is those businesses which have created a new mode of service delivery to their customers. Please write those name of the businesses in the chat, which you observe yourself, which have fundamentally changed the way they do business, the way they are delivering their products or services. So it's going to be good start of this chapter. Then, now coming to this first line of the module, first line of the slide, the concept of integrated and non-integrated systems. So this is very important, because this idea of integration and non-integration is directly linked to the chapter heading, automated business processes. So I've just taken an example. So let us learn with the example. Your vehicle suddenly stops as the fuel is finished. Okay. So it happens. It's a rare event, because you have indicators, but then sometimes our fuel indicators of the vehicle may not be working. Now, I think many of you are driving this e-scooters, e-bike, e-cars. So there is an indicator for battery. In fact, it indicates that how much kilometer you can further travel on that. But then we are young and full of energy, so we drive fast and reach locations and our battery is gone. So your vehicle suddenly stops as the fuel is finished. It's a case, it's a situation. Second situation. Then we are discussing the situation, then we'll come to the learning part and the questions. Purchase manager gets an email, SMS from system informing that an important raw material item inventory level has touched reorder level. So there's a technical word in the slide. The word is reorder level. So you have to say you have read reorder level. आपको ये बताना है chat में reorder level आपने पढ़ा है. Reorder level, yes, no. Okay. Now, what is the idea? So because my vehicle did not indicate me as a user that the fuel is probably going to finish off, the vehicle stopped. But my accounting system, my business system had an integrated mechanism wherever as soon as an item's level reached reorder level, I am the manager of purchase manager of the company. So on my mobile, I get an email or a message that this item's level has hit reorder level. If I'm purchase manager, what I will do, I will immediately place the order for that item, because if the order is not timely placed, my production will stop due to stock out. The losses could be immense and huge. So those two situations are questions. After this slide, we are going to review all the questions. The next question you are going to answer is two situations, vehicle and purchase manager, without defining which of the two you say is integrated system. So your answer has to say vehicle is integrated or purchase manager system is integrated. Let us read answers to all the questions. So first question was, which business has evolved? Okay. So Darshan, yes, we are only going to talk in nature of case studies. Yeah. So then education is evolved, Kiran, online classes. Then Miss P. Nirupama, the food industry like Zomato, Swiggy, online delivery. Yes. Home delivery. Very good, Kiran. Then services which, okay. Then Chanchal, online products and services. No, it had to be specific, not general. Madhuri, every service shifted to, you have to give an example, yeah. Hospitals, teaching, Amazon, same day delivery. In fact, one day, I think in metro, few of you must be from large metro cities. In your city, you will be getting delivery from Amazon, Flipkart within less than 12 hours. In fact, there is a new delivery, Blinkit. They say they deliver within 1 hour. Retail business, yes. Extension of the departmental stores to online delivery. Okay, so most of you have read reorder level. Great. So reorder level, you know what is the significance of. Now see what we are doing. See, to me personally, this information technology subject is king of all subjects. Okay. Why I call it as king? Because it's subject near to my heart. So I call it as a king subject. You can call it queen subject also, as you like to say it. The point is that, see, whatever you are going to learn in other subjects, we are going to implement in this subject. So we have started with basic idea about costing. So if you want to learn these subjects better, your understanding of costing has to be good. So reorder level is a word that you all understand in costing. So what we have talked, we have brought that idea. See, this is very important. And this is what I want all of you to carry, that technology that is being used cannot be built without the base into it. So if I'm implementing a system of purchase, I'm automating my business purchases, then I need to understand the concept about costing, inventory management. Then only I can bring those ideas into my system. That is very important. So this purchase system has the concept of costing built into it. Okay. So most of you have learned reorder level. Yes. Now I'll read the right answer. So many of you have said correctly also. Few have not said correctly, but leave that. So the right answer to the main question, which is integrated and which is non-integrated, the right answer is purchase is an integrated system. Now let us define. So we have taken an example and now we are defining it. So what is an integrated system? See, integrated system is basically a set of system where a situation, a location, event, a position of one system is automatically intimated to another system. What is an integrated system? Where within the whole business system that I am using, a system's position, a location, event, situation is intimated to another system. In our example, the purchase system hit reorder level. As soon as it hit reorder level, an information was given to purchase manager. Purchase manager, he or she gets the information. What is expected from the purchase manager to take an immediate action on it? Action on it. So we have built another parameter into integrated system. Integrated systems ensure that a system's position, situation, event, location, timing is acted upon by another system. In our example, the another system is the purchase manager. Human is also a system. So that is an integrated system where all components of the system work together. They help each other to achieve the whole objective of business. Those systems are integrated system. Okay. So most of you have said purchase is integrated. Good. Yes, very good. Then let us create another example. So I'll share that case with you. You say that this system is integrated or non-integrated. Okay. So on television, we have this advertisement by one of the famous cricketer for a water purifier. What is the advertisement? The advertisement is that the water purifier is Wi-Fi enabled. Wi-Fi enabled means that water purifier you configure, you attach to your home or Wi-Fi, so that water purifier can access Wi-Fi of your home. Now, if you've seen this water purifier, they've got resins to filter the water. Now, as soon as the resins level in the water purifier comes to reorder level as defined by the manufacturer. So there is a reorder level of resin inbuilt into the water purifier. As soon as that level is reached, you know what that water purifier does? It automatically intimates the service center of the water purifier company that this identified water purifiers, resins, the water filtering chemicals has gone to a reorder level. They inform you also as the owner of that location, and the service engineer then calls you that, sir, we've got an information. Can we come and refill the resin? This is an example of, I think we all understand, this is a very good example of an integrated system. That is how integrated system works. But the example I have given is part of your chapter 4 also. I want you to name this technology. What this technology is. The example I have given, your water purifier is tagged to Wi-Fi of your home. आपके घर के Wi-Fi से कनेक्ट हो जाता है और जब उसके फिल्टरिंग रेजिन्स कम हो जाते हैं, वाटर प्यूरिफायर खुद स्वतः ही कंपनी को मैसेज कर देता है कि इस वाटर प्यूरिफायर के लेवल रेजिन्स केमिकल्स कम हो गए हैं. This technology has a new name. It is part of your syllabus. What is the name of the technology? Okay. So integrated, you have answered correctly. I've got two answers, Manisha and Madhuri. Very good. Now you have to name this technology. What this water purifier technology is called. It is part of the syllabus, chapter 4. So this is how we are going to talk about the chapter plan, the summary of the chapter content is we are going to do MCQs and then recap of the day. So let me just refresh the chat. Yes, integrated, emerging, e-commerce. So I thought you would be knowing it. So the name of the technology is called as IoT, Internet of Things. Keep a word, this is part of the syllabus. Okay, IoT, Internet of Things, where the electrical devices of your home are connected to the home Wi-Fi. In fact, this water purifier is only one example. Your refrigerators, your micro, your washing machine, yes, they can all be connected through IoT, Internet of Things, like that. And in fact, believe me, now what I'm sharing is not science fiction. It's a reality to happen one day. We are already in this AI world, artificial intelligence. ChatGPT is a good example of application side of AI. So so when all these devices, electrical devices are enabled on Wi-Fi, there is going to be a day that these devices are going to talk to each other. Like microwave oven may be asking refrigerator, what is the best thing that you are cooling, like that. The washing machine may be asking the microwave oven what you are cooking. So it is going, that day is not far off. Okay. So that is IoT, Internet of Things. Great. Now, this is exactly what your chapter is all about. So it's a very big, broad summary of the chapter. It's a flowchart I have taken from the module. So we are going to talk about the categories of businesses, then automations, the objectives, benefits, implementation, risk management and controls, talking about specific business processes, P2P, procure to pay, order to cash, inventory cycle, HR, human resource, about assets, GLs, then diagrammatic representation, learning about flowcharts, yes, data flow diagram, and regulatory issues regarding automated business processes. Yeah. Okay. So let us go ahead. So learning objectives, to build an understanding on the concepts of business process, its automation, its implementation, understand concepts, flows, relationship of internal and automated controls, acknowledge risks and controls of various business processes, grasp the understanding on structure of flow of business processes, the related risks and controls, comprehend the specific regulatory and compliance requirement of the Companies Act, Information Technology Act as applicable to enterprise information system. So this is what we are going to learn in the chapter. Okay. So, okay. Darshan says this is going to make you lazy. No, it is going to create a threat and opportunity, Darshan. So if you want to convert technology into opportunity, then laziness has to be killed like that. Every day you have to learn new. That is, believe me, one thing, yes. So one thing I have asked you to notice the examples we are going to talk about. So before as we are starting the chapter, we have talked about 2-3 examples. Keep a note of them. Then what you can do is daily use technology. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, so just see the technologies you use. In fact, let us talk about the examples you gave here in the chat. Swiggy, Zomato. Now, just see how the technology has been configured. So you place an order on, there'll be other apps also, place an order for food delivery. So the order goes, you make the payment, then you get a message, your order has been accepted. Then you get a message that your order is being prepared. Then you get a message that your order is being picked. And then you get that map. It shows the physical location of the delivery boy as he or delivery boy girl as he or she is coming to deliver the product to you. So that is the whole way the technology has been configured. So a lot of technology is there in every single business process that we do today. That is very important. Okay. So I'll read, then we'll share some examples. So in today's connected world, where information flows at the speed of light, success on any organization depends on its ability to respond to fast changing environment. The capability of an organization depends on its ability to take fast decisions. Very, very, very important. In fact, this, just give me a second. This institute's live classes is a very good example of how I consider this as a revolution, phenomenal. So any organization that is doing good, they are using technology to a phenomenal extent. Then next, the solution to this problem is provided by EIS system by collecting data from numerous critical business processes like manufacturing, production, finance, accounting, sales and marketing, and creating a central data repository. So how organizations are working, what they are doing, they are collecting data from multiple sources. I just want to give you an idea about how data is being collected. Okay, so let us put this question to you. You write in the chat the sources. Okay, so just imagine that you have traveled and you booked your ticket, say bus ticket, train ticket, plane ticket, your hotel through online travel aggregators. So you booked your, say, hotel through an online travel aggregator, and you want to give a feedback about the quality of hotel you stayed. You put in the chat, what are the ways, method, mode you can give feedback about that hotel where you stayed. Okay, so that is how this data is being collected and acted upon. Same way, organizations are collecting data from their all requisite departments, creating a central depository, analyzing data and taking decisions based on that data. EIS may be defined as any kind of information systems which improves the functions of an enterprise, business processes by integration. And EIS provides a technology platform that enables organizations to integrate and coordinate their business processes on a robust foundation. So enterprise information system is like a business enabler. You create a good information system, you are going to take very good decisions based on that. Then enterprise business processes. A business process is an activity or a set of activities that will accomplish a specific organizational goal. Business processes are designed as per vision, mission of top management. Business processes are a reflection of entities' management thought process. The success or failure of an organization is dependent on how meticulously business processes have been designed and implemented. Business process creation. So the whole, in fact, this word, you take business process consultation as a word. Once you become chartered accountants, you decide to start your practice or your service or your consultation or your business, all is going to be important. How you create your business, how you integrate your business, how you ensure that the systems you implement in your business are perfect to achieve the business objective. That is how what you do. That is what you call as meticulously planning your business processes. Very, very, very important. To be able to do it is through business process management. It helps an organization achieve what I call 3 E's of business process: effectiveness, efficiency, economy. Business process management is a systematic approach to improving these processes. Business process management is an all-around activity working on a 24/7 basis to ensure improvement in all parameters of the time. Today's date is 24/7. So it is business processes work all 24/7. 24 घंटे 7 दिन 365 दिन काम करते हैं improvement के लिए. So we work all night, all day for improving that business process. Then there's a flowchart. Before we go to the flowchart, let us see your answers. Yes, so you can give feedback, you can give rating on app, review, Google reviews, feedback, through feedback, hotel applications, on their application, their website. We can, yes, you can do on, you can do a Insta, you can do a Quora, you can do Facebook, you can do WhatsApp. So now you are customer. There's a business owner. You know what is the concern of the business owner? He or she or the company has to collect all this feedback. Why? Because based on this feedback, they are going to restructure, redefine their business. Very, very, very important. Yeah, so there's a question, Kavita. See, robust foundation means, what is robustness? So let me take it through a live example. Now I think in the new syllabus, the article is being reduced to 2 years. Right now it is 3 years. Me personally, I did a 4-year articleship. Okay. So how I did a 4-year articleship, it's a phenomenal case to know, but someday we will meet personally. So always ask that question to me. So for me, from 4 years articleship, it is being made to 2 years. So to me, articleship is very important, but the way things are evolving, as things change. So you have to incorporate, you have to bring about changes as they are there. Okay. So we always used to say that a person who has completed his or her articleship ethically. Now, in today's scenario, we have to use the word ethically. Okay. In our time, we were never, there was no concept of ethical articleship. Today, we have the concept. So a person who has done his or her articleship for 3 years, because 2 years articleship is going to start. So we used to say that a person who has completed his or her articleship for 3 years, he or she is going to become robust. Robust means that individual can work any location, any time, any situation. So robustness is capability of a system to perform even in dire, critical, not so conducive environment, tough environment. Robustness का मतलब कठिन परिस्थितियों में काम करने की क्षमता को रोबस्टनेस कहते हैं। तो आर्टिकलशिप से जो होता है वो यही होता है कि आप बहुत कठिन परिस्थितियों में भी काम कर पाते हैं। दैट इज रोबस्टनेस। सो वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ रोबस्टनेस ऑफ सिस्टम। Yes, Swati, very good. Strong base is robust foundation. Very good. Thank you. Great. So we have e-chocolates. I think the first e-chocolate of today's session goes to Swati. Great. Then, how does this whole enterprise business process model looks like? So we are looking at this. So how does entities create their system? So they start with vision, strategy, business management, then management support processes, and then operational processes. So any business that you look about, you look at, it can be divided into 3 broad parameters: vision, strategies, management processes, operational processes. Vision is how you look ahead, what you want to achieve. That you call as vision. So you convert vision into business plan. Based on that, you create what is called as a governance architecture, and then build your business on that. That is how your enterprise business process model looks like. We'll take definitions. So depending on the organization, how it is working, it can categorize its businesses into 3 parts: operational processes, supporting processes, and management processes. So suppose I ask you the enterprise information system that we are going to create, okay, the chapter, the paper 7A, EIS per se. So enterprise information system is a system that is going to create information for use by the enterprise. So who is going to be the most user of this chapter? You have to answer: operational process manager, support process manager, or management process manager. Who is going to be the most critical user of this paper 7A? Of the 3, who is going to use EIS for business purposes to the most effective manner? Who is going to use this paper to most effectively of these 3: operational processes, supporting processes, and management processes? No, Darshan, it's not that way. Lot of things has been crunched like that. But yeah, I enjoyed in my life. I am thankful to my boss, to my seniors. A smallest single good thing I will do in my life, it is courtesy my articleship and courtesy my seniors. Always thankful to them. Okay. So you're answering this question. Of the 3 locations, 3 managers you see here, who is going to be the most effective user of this paper 7A? Yes, management process manager, because that individual, that person is going to take what he or she is going to take decisions based on information. Great. So many of you have answered. In fact, most of you have answered correctly. Now, to the people who have not answered management process manager, your answer is not incorrect. But my question was, who is going to use it most effectively for business as a consideration? So management process manager. Support process managers also take decision. Operational processes manager also take decisions, but their intensity is to ensure working. The growth, the vision strategy comes from management managers, like that. So it's a live case. Okay. One of vision and mission. So how you create an entity by creating vision, mission. One of the largest India's conglomerates. So it's a real case, but because we are online, not sharing the name like that, you can guess it out. Right? Try to guess it out here. Okay. So before today, that by 15th completion of 15th year, they will only be in those businesses where they are top 5 in the world. Only those businesses, they are top 5 in the world. So that was board of directors decision. Now it is being implemented. So see, management process implementing. So the top management, the group did all this in the previous 15 years. They acquired large steel companies across the world. They acquired large tea gardens across the world. So see, top management created a vision. Just see the vision. What is the vision? We will be within top 5, or rather like that, we will do only that business in which we can be top 5 in the world. Imagine. Now it is being implemented. Okay. So that is how you do it. So you, from a top vision, you percolate down. It flows down like river comes down like that. Then support processes for all activities to be done as envisioned by the top management. A huge effort was needed on human resource front. This included defining, creating new management structure, performing all human resource activities as listed above. After having done that, the actual hard job, the shop floor working. So vision, management process, support, and operational process. That is how you create a big organization. Most of you have guessed correctly. And I'm not going to pronounce name, but I'll pronounce name of the student. So those who have answered correctly. So Swati, your guess is good. Harshit is also good. Darshan is also good. Harshit. Yeah, Harshit. No, the second answer is more accurate, Harshit. Okay. And Bhumika, your answer is also correct. So I've answered you. So we have to learn some smart ways of doing it. Okay. Then, so now reading the core definitions. Operational or primary processes deal. So see, what my idea is that, see, we have talked about at least 5-10 real life examples. Carry these examples. So this is what I want you to note. That is only one thing I want you to know, these examples. And another thing you are going to notice, your visualization of whatever, suppose we are discussing something today. So what I'll do, when day after tomorrow we meet, so I'll ask you a question about whatever we discussed today. Where did you find it practically happening? Believe me, within 48 hours, you will identify at least 3 locations where you find this happening practically. We started whether the subject is theory and practical. Few of you did say half practical, half theory. I am saying 100% practical. So we are going to talk about the subject today. Day after tomorrow, when we meet, I'll ask you to tell me where you found these things being done practically. Believe me, each of you will have at least minimum 3 examples to share. Sir, yahan par dekha humne. We will do it. Okay. Now, coming to the core definitions. So what is operational or primary processes? They deal with the core business and the value chain. Value chain where you convert, the conversion of raw material to finished goods. These processes deliver value to customer by helping to produce a product or service. Operational processes represent essential business activities that accomplish business objective like order to cash, procure, purchase to pay. So the whole manufacturing cycle, the whole billing cycle, the invoices cycle, delivery cycle of goods to customer is part of this discussion. Then supporting processes, back core processes and functions within an organization. So operations are those at the factory level. Support, those are going to help these people. Within the organization, examples are accounting, HR management, workplace safety is good. One key differentiator between operational and support process is that support process are not directly related to customers. Yes, they are so support is like, so here is operation, here is support, and here is top management. So support doesn't have a direct contact with customer or the vendor, both sides of the chain. However, it would be noted that the direct impact on the efficiency of the enterprise. Yes, in fact, those of you who are doing articleship, the work your boss allocates to you is based on the skills you possess. So right person, right job at the right time. That is how you look at it. Then management process. So after this discussion, so after completion of a part of discussion, I'll always review the chat. So any query you have, we will be doing in between the session itself. Okay. Management process. It measures, monitors, controls activity relating to business procedures and system. Examples of management process includes internal communication, governance, strategic planning, budgeting, infrastructure, or capacity management. The example we talked about, what that we are going to be in those businesses in next 15 years, where we can be in top 5. I want you to tell that decision is which word in this sentence. Let me repeat the question. The decision by the management, that top board of directors, that we will only remain in business where we can be top 5 across the world. It is reflection of what? Let me read the probable answers. You have to say, sir, this decision is this. Internal communication, governance, strategic planning, budgeting, infrastructure, or capacity management. Okay. So you are answering another question. Then, like supporting processes, management processes do not provide value directly to customer, but they have direct impact on efficiency. And I want to add the word effectiveness of the organization. This how a budgeting process may look like. So we have all talked about this. Okay. Vision, strategic planning, business goal, revenue projection, cost projections, profit projections, approval by the board, and review of it. Okay. Now let us see what you have put in the chat. So the topic changes. So Bhumika was correct. Ritika, the guest of the group, is correct. Yeah, most of you have said correctly. Strategic planning. From the given, the best answer was strategic planning. Yes. Yeah, governance will be post that, but strategic planning is the answer. Great. So you are all learning well, and my idea is clear. There is nothing new in the subject. Subject में कुछ नया नहीं है. What we are basically doing, I will configure into a bracket in a like a boundary we create so that the learning becomes easy. Rest you all know. Okay. Darshan, capacity management means, let me try to give an example. Okay. So Darshan allows me to ask another question. So Darshan, so his question is allowing me to ask a question, then I'll answer Darshan's question. So in the chat, please guess how many registered mobile numbers we have. भारत में आज registered mobile number की संख्या कितनी है? Tentative figure of registered mobile numbers we have in India today. It can be a rough guess. Then Darshan, as I get answer, I'll answer your question. Darshan's question is, what is the meaning of capacity management? So with this answer, I'll answer Darshan's question. Okay, let us go to the next one. Automated business processes. Today, technology innovations are increasing day by day. Technology is becoming easily available. Cost of accessing technology and using is going down. Internet connectivity in terms of speed, geographical spread is increasing day by day, and cost reducing day by day. All these factors are having a profound impact on business processes being used by the entity. There is another good example I want to share on this slide. No, it had to be a number. You cannot guess. Yeah. So the answers I have got, We'll give each chocolate to the person who get the nearest. Okay. So the nearest is Darshan. Darshan said 150 crores. No, 150 crores is higher number. The range is between 110 and 120 crores. The range is this. Now, imagine total registered mobile number 110 crores. So this means that all the 10 digits of the mobile number are used. Please understand, to write a number that is 100 crores, you consume all the 10 digits. It's a technology risk. And there is a concept of redundancy like that. So you must, like our train numbers, sometime back, our train numbers were 4 digit, but because number of trains increased so high, now your train numbers are 5 digit. Same is going to happen with the mobile sometime ahead. Mobile number may go to 11 digits. Okay. Now what is that? It is directly in relation to capacity management, because 10-digit mobile number, the database of mobile number, and every digit of the 10 digits is being consumed. It becomes a huge task. So you have to increase the mobile number to 11 digits. So that is managing capacity. Then one option that Bhumika said was correct, that capacity management is directly relating to managing the production capacity of the products. So suppose I am that conglomerate, I am that Indian multinational corporation who decide to be within top 5 of the world. So that means if I'm a steel manufacturer, I need to manufacture that much. So I have to enhance my capacity. So enhancing capacity in long term is possible. I can build new plant. But if I need to enhance my capacity in short term, I have to buy out existing plant. So that is capacity management. So you all did good guess. Okay. Now here, so I'm reading that, and again I'll be bringing an issue to you. See what we are basically doing, linking all this to the country we are all living in, India. We have created a revolution. No one realized that, but today the world is looking at us. They want us to provide a technology. You must have read the news reports. UPI, Unified Payment Interface, Universal Payment Interface, as you may read it. So it is a payment interface created by National Payment Corporation of India Limited. I know the figures of December 2022. They must have announced 780 crore plus transaction in a month, and total value of transaction was around 14 lakh crores. It's a phenomena. You know, the enabler of the phenomena is what you're reading on the slide. Let me read it again. Today, believe me, it's a revolution. The world is looking at us. Today, technology innovations are increasing day by day. Technology is becoming easily available. Cost of accessing and using technology is going down. Internet connectivity in terms of speed and geographical spread is increasing day by day. All these factors are having a profound impact. Yes, the example I've shared, does it have an impact on your business? You have to say yes, no. And those who say yes, they have to tell what impact on business. So this is how we need to learn. Is this the example of UPI? First, you have to imagine, suppose you are doing a business, or let us do it in a simple terms. Is it having impact on all businesses in India? You have to say yes, no. And if the impact is there, how does that business person, in fact, you small vendors, auto rickshaw wala, cab, your vegetable vendor, your barber, every person you imagine, he or she is accepting payment on through UPI, through QR codes, unimaginable. So business automation. Then what factors lead to success of this? So this example that I've talked about, this you can directly link to this header of the slide. The point that you are going to share is the impact on businesses due to this use of UPI. I'll give you 10 seconds because it's a good discussion to have. This we will link to this. Yes, business should adopt. Very good, Darshan. Kiran, it increases volume. Yeah, Bake Bihari. Yeah, it petrol pumps are also using. Yes, I wanted the impact. I wanted you to put a point on the impact on the business. See, once you put impact, this slide will be clear. We'll not have to read this so thoroughly. Again, creating an example. Hawkers use, yes. Ease of transaction, click of a button. Everywhere, yes. Harshita, Jia, Swati. Universal impact, help in a transparent flow of currency. Very good, phenomenal. And if I am a owner of the business, it creates an accounting issue because I need to keep a track of all UPI transactions done. Now, suppose UPI is only example of a business process automation. Okay, we'll talk about it. Suppose UPI is a business process automation. Yes, it is. Read the header. Factors affecting the success. So what is the factor that has affected the success of UPI? In fact, Swati said, it is universal, transparent. So transparency led to success. Creates a written record, expands business. Now let us read this slide. So this again becomes a good example, live example, that because of this, this automation has led to success. What are those? Confidentiality. So what is confidentiality? To ensure that data is available to person who have right to see the same. The right person has the right access. Confidentiality. Integrity, to ensure that no unauthorized amendments can be made in data. A person who is not authorized to access data, he or she cannot access that data. That is integrity. Availability. Data is available when asked for. जब जरूरत होती है डेटा अवेलेबल होता है. That is availability. Timeliness. Yes, the data has to be available at the right time. So any business or process automation is going to achieve success if all these parameters are present. UPI was a good example, and you have already said you have built the reasons also. Let us read again. I'm reading. So our header is same. Question is same. Factors affecting the business process automation success. I'm reading. Suppose UPI is an example. We are reading UPI. Written record, expanding business, increase area of operation, immediate. Yes, this concept of sundry debtors is gone. Advantage of globalization. No change of currency. Yes, very good, Varsha. Advantage of, yes. Then Achal, yes, as now anyone can purchase anything without availability of cash. Yes. Safety of data is good. So, Make, it's a very good point. Safety of data is a security concern, but technology helps it. So, in fact, let us take example from what Make has said. Safety of data is his point. I want you to relate to safety of data to all this. Safety relates to what? Confidentiality, integrity, availability, timeliness. Which factor it is relating to? It can relate to more than one factor. Safety of data. UPI is a success. Banke BRT has raised a concern. Safety of data, but because it is a success, so safety of data is assured. So this safety, assuring safety of data is because of which of the factors? The options are confidentiality, integrity, availability, timeliness. Very good. Speed increases. Fantastic. Yeah, you can take. Kavita. See, good. Kavita has brought a good point. So what you can always do, you can always add more example. In fact, day after tomorrow, we are going to do this only. When I ask you, whatever we did, discussion we did today, how did it happen? How did you observe it happen next 48 hours? You'll be adding your examples. So I'll request you to add your examples, because see, when you add your examples, you will be more nearer to that. You will be able to write it more clearly. You will be able to write those examples with better understanding. The only one thing I want is, whatever example you write, you logically relate to the topic. That is the only thing. The rest is done. Great. So I think you all need to be given e-chocolate. I thought it was a tough question, but you have answered correctly. So Harshita, confidentiality, integrity, fantastic. Darshan, confidentiality, integrity, confidentiality. Then Shivangini, integrity, confidentiality. Madhuri, Bhumika, confidentiality. Ritika, confidentiality. Rajiv Kumar Singh, confidentiality, integrity, and Manisha also. Great. So claps to all of you. You got it? So now we have a live example on the slide. So factors which are affecting the success of business process automation. So these are the factors, and this is a live example. Great. To ensure that all above parameters are met, business process automation needs to have appropriate internal controls put in place. Yes, so internal control is a very big topic. In each of the 5 chapters, virtually all the days we are going to talk about, each day a reference to internal control is going to come. What is the benefit? Great. So I'll take one more example and then we'll read the benefits. Let me run through, as a slide changes, let me run through something more. So benefit. Okay. Shatrughan has given one of the answers that we are going to. So you are all smart. What you are doing, you are putting in chat the content of the next slide. So claps for that. So you have already started putting benefits. Fantastic. Good. They are available. They are virtually. Darshan, you are virtually only. No? Maybe you want to say something more to it. Okay. But it is virtual. Okay. The only thing is exam is physical. And let me give you a first tip for exam today. Okay. Yes, Harshita, cyber security. So first tip for exam today is, till your exam from now, kindly ensure that you practice writing. So write anything 30 minutes every day. Writing. Your exam is writing. Huh? See, believe, if I'm saying, it's a slight deviation, but it's a good deviation to do. Anyone who has given attempt in 2023, May 2023, and if you are going to appear in November 2023, you know how we do? So we pick our pen to write exam in May 2023. The second time we pick it is for November exam 2023. In the 6 months, we do not practice writing. I take my word, means except for the practical questions that you may be solving in your notes, for theory, you just don't write a single line. Start practicing 30 minutes daily. 30 minutes रोज लिखना है. क्या लिखना है? What you need to write? So writing is one of the best way to remember and learn. So what you can do is start writing those topics which you find slightly tough to understand. Start doing it. It is going to be of a phenomenal help in your examination. Okay, Swati, we'll be coming to that relevant content. But right now the point was, we all must practice daily writing for 30 minutes. That is okay. Then, so benefits of business process automation, you have already said. So I'm reading what you have said. Quality, consistency, time saving. I'll not read because you already know it. So I'm not reading the explanation. Okay. Visibility. Someone said it creates a written record. Improved operational efficiency. Yes. You said real-time update. The person sends the payment, you receive it, deliver the service. Done. Governance and reliability. You said transparency. That is the key to success. Reduce turnaround time because the transactions will be done faster. Turnaround time is coming back to the original transaction, the original state of operation. So it is going to be very fast. Come back again. Let me read. eliminate unnecessary tasks, and realign process steps to optimize the flow of information throughout production, service, billing, and collection. This adjustment of processes distills operational performances and reduces turnaround time for customers as well as staff. Then it saves cost. You said it. Okay. So we'll do just a fast recap. Benefits: quality, consistency, time saving, visibility, improved operational efficiency, governance, reliability, reduced turnaround time, and reduced costs. Which process should be automated? So where you do business, automation. Where the volume is high, you are doing repetitive tasks. Where multiple people are needed to execute a task, time sensitive processes, processes involving need for compliance and audit trail. You said it maintains record. Processes having significant impact on other processes and systems. So each of the locations you need to create automation. In सब जगह automation कर सकते हैं where process has high volume, repetitive task, multiple people needed, time sensitive, which have to be done in a timely manner, lot of compliance audit trail is needed, and having significant impact on business. So these business processes you go for automation. Yes, Kavita, it's good to write. Always practice. Please keep note of examples and the logical relationship. Darshan. Okay. Yes, good, Madhuri. It saves time in bank. Just take this. See, it's how we need to integrate all the chapters also. In last 10 years, I've got a saving bank account in a bank. In last 10 years, I have not gone to my bank branch for 10 times. साल में एक बार भी जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है. That much. So you need not go to the bank like that. So that is automation. This is important. Now see, when you go for business process automation, what are the risks? क्या गलती हो सकती है? Automating redundant processes. Redundant means, so challenges, where you may face challenges. Redundant processes, repetitive processes, not needed processes. Then to be able to automate complex processes. Lot of complexities there you find it cannot be automated. Then staff resistance, because automation is there. So staff will always resist anything that is automated, and cost of implementation may be high. So these could be a challenges when you go for automation. Okay, we are going for a break. It is a 10 minutes break. We will reassemble at 7.20. So BPA implementation will take after the break. So it's a break time. So we'll come back after this tea break. So BPA implementation. Now, again, we'll do this practically. I'll read through the steps and then we'll create a case for all of you to do. Okay. With this case, you have to solve. So day after tomorrow, when we meet, you are going to, I'll be asking each of you to submit this case, okay, in the chat. So BPA implementation, I'll share a live example with you to help us, you understand. And then you are going to all submit. So define why we plan to implement a BPA. Understand the rules, regulations under which enterprise needs to comply with. Document the process that we wish to automate. Define the objectives, goals to be achieved by implementing BPA. Engage a business process consultant to decide as to which consultant you may engage. We'll be talking in detail. Calculate the ROI of the project. Develop the BPA, return on investment. Develop the BPA and testing of the BPA. Now, so what I'm doing, I'll run through the basic definitions as given, and then I'll share one of my very personal experiences during COVID, and then I'll allow you to process. Day after tomorrow, when we meet again, one of the first things I'll ask you is to put these steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps of a process that you found in your locality who has adopted business process automation and what was the idea behind that automation. Okay. Then redundance, Darshan, redundant basically means additional, in addition, additional process. So redundancy may have two meanings to it. Redundancy means additional. Redundant will also mean outdated, like that. So in this context, outdated. Okay. Define why we plan to implement a business process automation. So whenever you go for a business process automation, first and foremost is to decide why we want to go for it. So the reasons could be, these are possible reasons. Please understand, it's an illustrative list. There could be more reasons to beyond this, but a good list. Errors in manual process, so you go for automation. Paying for goods and services not received, then you go for automation. Not being able to find documents quickly during audit or lawsuit, or not being able to find all documents. So then you feel that you need to automate your business, like that. Unable to recruit, train new employee, but where employees are urgently required. Oh, it could be one of a good as well as a bad reason to go for automation. That automation probably has an impact on the total employee engagement. In fact, across the world, AI and ChatGPT has already created a question all across the world, whether it is going to hamper the employability quotient across the globe, whether the number of people required by companies, will it going to be reduced substantially? So it's part of a discussion. It's a live discussion going on. Then lack of management understanding of business process. So then you go for automation. So we'll run through this and then we'll create a case after discussing all the 8 points. Understand the rules and regulations under which enterprise needs to comply with. So one of the most important steps in automating any business process is to understand the rules and regulations which the entity needs to comply when it is going for automation. This governance is established by a combination of corporate policies, industry regulations, it could be local, state, or central laws. Entity needs to ensure that business process automation adheres to the requirement of law, very important. Document the process you wish to automate. So what document you need to capture due to automation, the source of the document, the form of the document, who are involved in the processing of the document now, what is the impact of regulations. So suppose these documents physically don't exist, then does it affect some compliance requirement? Can there be any other way of doing the same job in a better manner without automation? And if exceptions come, suppose system goes down, system crashes, then how you handle the exceptions? Very, very, very important. the objectives and goals that you wish to achieve through documentation. So the word is from the module. So you have to define them as in a smart way. So objectives have to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. So smart objectives you have to define. Then, now step 5, as I read, before I come to then, you need to answer. Step 5 is talking about whom. Okay, so you need to put here in the chat. Step 5 किसके बारे में बात कर रहा है? Okay, I want you to write in the chat by the time I complete it. To decide as to which company, consultant, or to partner with depends upon the following. So any entity that goes for business process automation, it may need to hire an external expert. So the question is, who that external expert may be? वो external expert कौन हो सकता है जो entity को hire करना है? So before you go for hiring an external expert, you need to see the qualifications of an expert. Okay, I am talking about some standard on auditing that you must remember. So objectivity of the consultant in understanding, evaluating the entity situation. So how does the consultant understand? Does the consultant have experience with the entity's business process? Does the consultant have the prior experience? Is the consultant experienced in resolving critical business issues? So does that person has understanding, knowledge, experience in handling these situations? Whether consultant can recommend and implement a combination of hardware, software services as appropriate. So does the consultant have knowledge of each aspect of the process? Does the consultant have required expertise to clearly articulate the business value of every aspect? So is consultant capable enough of defining the benefit that may come to the entity? Let us see. Okay, so professionals, management. Oh, I thought someone will say chartered accountant. This is talking about you and me. Please understand. That is why you are learning it here. So I told you that even this subject not being in your course, don't worry. It is going to create opportunities, learning opportunities during articleship and executing opportunities after you become chartered accountant. This is you once you become chartered accountant. So how you automate, that is why what you are learning. That is what we add practicality to the subject. Yes. So Arshit now says CA. Yes, it is you and me. We have to act like this. Huge, phenomenal business value addition. That is business process concept. Then ROI, return on investment. The right stakeholder need to be engaged, involved to ensure that the benefits of business process automation are clearly communicated and implementation becomes successful. Hence, the required business process owners have to be convinced so as to justify the benefits of BPA and get approval from senior management. So let us take it again, make it more practical. All of you are doing chartered accountancy, so you are going to expend some money in doing this CA. So fees you pay to the institute, the examination fees, the re-examination, re-evaluation fees. You may be attending some coaching classes, maybe, may not be. Then you may be buying some books other than the institute modules. So you know what is your cost of doing a CA. So one day you all become CA. I want you to tell, suppose you become CA today and your total cost incurred is, I'm not sharing a figure, but you know your figure. What is the payback period? आपको सीए बनने में जितने पैसे लगेंगे उसका जनरल पेबैक पीरियड कितना है, कितने समय में आप उतना अर्न कर लेंगे एक बार सीए बन जाते हैं तो try to answer the question that suppose you become CA today, so what is your payback period? So you will earn it back, the total cost of becoming CA you earn in 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, like that. So you answer, then we'll read through this. So that is basically return on investment. So because you are investing in a project for automation, you need to understand the payback, how you are going to get in, within what time frame the money will be coming back to you. And once everything is done, you develop the business process automation. The consultant starts developing. The developed business process automation must be as per the needs of the business for which it is developed. So you develop it. and testing the BPA, whether it is working properly or not. So there are, I'll bring the module to read through the few business process automation. But before I bring the module, I'm sharing a case that came up during COVID in my locality. So I'm bringing the summary of the steps. So this is about a snack manufacturer. The city town I come from, a lot of renowned all India manufacturers of snacks, namkeen, are there in my town. So I am talking of March 2020, when there was first COVID lockdown. Okay. So this and restrictions and initial period was really tough. We couldn't go out from our house. So government, realizing that people need to have access to groceries, so they exempted grocery deliveries. They allowed grocery people to deliver goods. So in that period we are talking about. Snack namkeen manufacturer in my town, you know what he did? That person created a Google form. I think you all know Google form. Okay. Gmail, those of you are using, so you can create a form where people can submit. So he created a Google form and allowed that Google form to be freely distributed across the city. Okay. So you get the Google form, then you fill the form. So in the Google form, all your details, name, mobile number, exact postal address, any specific landmark you want to identify for location tracking, everything. You place your order. So once you place your order, immediately within 5 minutes, 6 minutes, they send you back a pro forma invoice with an order value and a QR code to make payment. So you get the invoice value and a QR code to make the payment. You make the payment, you get a confirmation, and they had a delivery time of 24 hours. Within next 24 hours, they will deliver you. So they had cut off because, say, if delivery has to be made tomorrow morning, so all orders have to be closed by 8 p.m. today evening so that you can get delivery tomorrow. They did it. Now, it was a really tough period for all of us. No one in our life had experienced such a situation of lockdown. We all learned a lot about life and how to live it. That, because I'm from the same town, that snack seller had a business of his life. In 1 month, May 2020, he achieved a turnover that he would have achieved in a full year. So in 1 month, he achieved turnover of 1 year. And because that person, he was business smart, he realized that other than snacks, people may need some few things additional. Say, for example, bread. Say, for example, bread toast that you take with tea. Say, for example, cookie. Say, for example, some grocery other than snacks like some masala, tea masala, milk masala. He added that also to his inventory. He did a phenomenal job in 1 month. And then as that word of mouth spread that this person has created a huge business in that single month, other snack sellers in the town came with their app, but then the first mover advantage was to that person. So now let us take this as a case and put it in point by point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Define why we plan to implement BPA. So let us imagine this snack seller. One was a social objective that people cannot get products, they cannot go out. So let us start delivering because government has exempted grocery delivery that time. So grocery person can go for delivery. Second, understand the rules and regulations under which enterprise needs to comply with. COVID rules and regulations, yes. All deliveries, the person had been wearing mask. I live in a residential society. So our society has restriction that no outsider can come into the society. So I used to go outside the main gate of the society, wearing mask, wearing gloves, collecting the product. Payment had already been made. Document the process we wish to automate. So imagine the snack seller. What documentation? So he was basically order to cash cycle he was documenting. So accepting the order from the customer, sending a pro forma invoice, getting the payment, sending a confirmation and delivering the product. Define the objectives, goals to be achieved. Yes. So one objective was social obligation, ensuring that the citizens of the town, resident of the town get products. And second, business objective. Yes, engage business process consultant. This I don't know, but they must have engaged some smart person who must have guided them to create. So very simple Google form through which order can be taken. Now you have answered ROI of your CA, completing CA. Let us read. Then your answers I'll bring here. Yes, so I'll read the most appropriate answers. So Hashit says 1 year, Sunil 1 year, Kiran says 2 years, Bhumika 3 months, that is too short. Then Jia says 2 to 3 years, 1 year, 1 year, 2 to 3 years, 6 months, I'll accept, 1 year, 1 year. Yes. So 1 year is general, it's good. This person, in fact, now coming to the correct answer, this person would have got the payback of that business to me not less than a week, because that payback would have been so low. Got my point? So I did not read people who said 1 month for CA. 1 month for CA is it's very optimistic. Huh? But then one week for this business, absolutely correct answer. That is the benefit that you get from business process automation. Phenomenal. Now it's a homework for all of you. So day after tomorrow, when we meet again, what I want is exactly this. So you had to, you have seen it happening. You only have to give steps. That मैंने मेरे यहाँ पर ये इस business को ऐसे automate होते देखा. This is the business that I saw automating and the benefit that business has got. Very, very important. Yes, Sunil, he took the first mover advantage. And those who see few business could not be converted online. Say, for example, hotel. No one can travel. So they went bankrupt. Many hotels closed. Many hotel aggregators also closed. Then accessibility, yes, it adds to that. So business process automation. So let us bring from just give me a second to bring from the module. I'm bringing the module for this too. Automation from module. We have taken one live case. Just give me a second. During this time, you can always ask questions. So I brought this case of automation of purchase order generation process in manufacturing entity. So here it is. So define. So what they've done, they've automated the purchase order generation. So the whole, how does purchase order is captured in system, that process has been automated. So define why we plan to go for automation. The entity has been facing problem of non-availability of critical raw material that led to stoppage of production. The first slide of the day was this only. Huh? Delay in delivery has cost company huge amount. So you cannot allow this. So this is the reason. So timely purchase, that is the reason. Understand rules, regulations under which entity need to comply with. The item is not covered in regulations, so it is easy. But if the raw material was like hazardous material, so then you need to comply with rules. But in the given case, it is not there, so you directly order. Document the process that you wish to automate. So the present process is manual, where orders are received by purchase department from stores department generates order based on stock register and based on items reorder levels. Lot of mistakes can be done here. It is written the levels were decided 5 years back, not updated timely. So it's a disastrous process. So we need to automate this process. Define the objective goals to be achieved. The objective behind the present exercise is that there are no production losses due to non-availability of critical items of inventory. Great. Engage a business process consultant that we have talked about. And to me, that business process consultant is you or me. We need to act like that. Calculate ROI. So they've given a calculation, but it's a sample calculation. You can also improve, change based on your understanding. The opportunity loss for the project comes to 100 lakh per year. The cost of implementing is 50 lakhs. It is expected that opportunity loss will be reduced to 50 lakh in year 1, 25 lakh in later years for the next 5 years. So payback period is 3 years. 50 lakh first year, 25 next 2 years. So cash payback is 3 years. I'm not applying discounting. We keep the discussion simple. Okay. Then developing BPA, once the top management says yes, the consultant develops the necessary BPA. The BPA is to generate purchase order. As soon as items inventory reaches its, so this was one of the words we discussed in slide number 1, reorder. See, this is a question I want to learn from you. Maximum level, minimum level, reorder level. So you have to arrange in descending order of highest, then this less value and the lowest. So maximum, minimum and reorder level. Arrange in descending order by their values. Maximum, minimum and reorder. Okay. Learning. I told you ours is a king subject. Every topic you discuss has to be merged here. So what you have need to define reorder level in system. To ensure accuracy of all data, the new system need to be checked and validated before being executed. Inventory level, yes, this is very, see, when you from a physical system, when you move to a computerized system, you have to create a cutoff date. Just from implementation aspect, you create a cutoff that on this date from physical you are going to move to computer. On the cutoff date, you have to take physical inventory. The production is stopped. Please, this is how practical it is done. On the cutoff date, no production is done. Physical inventory is taken. This physical inventory is updated in system. Because from tomorrow, you are going to work through an online system, an automated system. So this is very important. Then reorder levels have to be correctly calculated. And all items issued for consumption so timely updated in system. You need to ensure that. And purchase orders then will be automatically triggered. Very good. And then you test the business process automation. So automating purchase procedure. Let us see, you have said something. Yeah, I think Madhuri said correctly that snack seller has converted a threat into opportunity. Claps, fantastic. Yes, Harshit, very good. Our own institute has moved to online. In fact, this I consider this as a revolution, digital learning, the way it has evolved. Okay, then to the question you have answered. So I'll read the name of the persons who have answered correctly. Okay. So maximum, reorder and minimum. So Darshan, Manisha, Swati, Sunil, Shivangini. Then I'm not reading those who have answered incorrectly. Madhuri, So these people have answered correctly. Maximum reorder and minimum. Great. Testing. So then you test whether working properly. Then automation of employee attendance system. So one case I shared with snack seller, one case from module we have discussed. I request you to read this case. Let us save our time. Let us not read it here. I'll go to the PPT again. So I'm bringing the PowerPoint. Just give me a second. Okay. So BP implementation, and then in our office, we have been able to automate the whole internal audit process, but it's a separate discussion. So we have 3 cases. Purchase order you have gone through, employee attendance you are going to read through, and snack seller I have shared with you. Then risk and its management. So we are going to, it's virtually mid of part of the class. So any questions from whatever we have discussed, giving you 10 seconds to ask questions. Okay, Varsha had a long answer. Accessibility in tough time, follow rules, regulations, reputation, whatever offer, also need not repeat the list. Okay. Clear. Thank you. Good. So now coming to the next topic, risk and its management. Very, very, very important. Okay. So introduction, the terms, sources, strategies. We will not hurry, huh? Just see, the class officially is till 8:30. So if you will agree, we can extend the time. Okay. So you have to say extend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If you all agree, then we'll extend. MCQ is given. So if you are not able to reach the MCQ today, day after tomorrow, when we will start with the MCQs. Okay. But we want good understanding. That is the point. We'll not hurry things. Then risk. So risk is any event that may result in significant deviation from a planned objective, resulting in unwanted negative consequences. The planned objective could be any aspect of an enterprise's strategic, financial, regulatory, operational processes, products, and services. The degree of risk associated with an event is determined by the likelihood, uncertainty, probability of the event occurring, the consequences if the event were to occur, and its timing. So risk and its management. So what is risk? Risk is something that happens which is unplanned, which may affect your business. So the occurrence of it may occur, it may not occur, the impact of it, the value of impact, these are factors of probability. Thank you. So this was, thanks for permitting me to extend the class. Thank you. See, I understand that you being CA students, your life is very busy. Means you are doing articleship, those who are doing, then few of you are going to college also, so that makes it busy. Then few of you may be having class other than this class, that may be keeping you busy. Then you have social obligations and social websites to cater to, so that keeps you very busy. So thank you. Terms. This is going to be very, very, very important. First is risk management. Risk management is the process of assessing risk, taking steps to reduce risk to an acceptable level, and maintaining that level of risk. Risk management involves identifying, measuring, minimizing uncertain events affecting resources. So risk management is to ensure that you know what is the risk, you ensure that you take steps to reduce the risk and look after it. So let us take one by one the other terms. Asset. Asset can be defined as something of value to an organization. So data is asset, information is asset, this laptop is asset, the camera is asset, the office is asset, the mic is asset, person is also an asset. So these are assets. How do you identify? They are recognized to be of value to organization. They are not easily replaceable without cost, skill, time, resources, or a combination of that. They form part of the organization's corporate identity, without which organization may be threatened. Like logo, the logo of a company is also an asset. Okay. Their data classification would be proprietary, highly confidential, or even top secret. Based on that, based on the nature of data information, you may give a classification. That becomes an asset. Vulnerability potentially allow a threat to harm or exploit a system. It can be allows an attacker to execute commands as another user. It can be allowing an attacker to access data that is contrary to specified access restrictions for data, or it allows the attacker to pose as another entity, or allows an attacker to conduct a denial of service. See, we talked about the factors which affect the business process, which are relating to success of business process automation. The 4 factors were confidentiality, integrity, availability, and timeliness. I'm repeating: factors for success: confidentiality, integrity, timeliness, and availability. I want you to answer which of these 4 factors is affected by this line. I'm reading the line again. Allows an attacker to conduct a denial of service. So denial of service is affecting which aspect? Confidentiality, integrity, availability, timeliness. Okay. Vulnerability. So vulnerability is a weakness. Let us take more practical example. The studio I am taking this class, right side there is a wall, left side there is a gate. The gate is open. It's a vulnerability, weakness. So open gate is a weakness. We'll take this example forward. Threat. An entity, circumstance, or event with the potential to harm the software system or component through its unauthorized access, destruction, modification, and or denial of service is called as a threat. In the example I have taken, what is an asset? My laptop. What is a vulnerability? The gate is open. What is a threat? So threat is a possibility that someone may enter. That is threat. Let me read. Any entity, circumstance, or event with potential to harm. So person entering from open gate can harm. That is threat. Exposure. An exposure is extent of loss the enterprise has to face when the risk materializes. Value loss. It is not just an immediate impact, but the real harm that occurs in long run. For example, loss of business or failure to perform the system's mission. Carry this same example. The laptop is an asset. Gate open is a vulnerability. A person can enter is a threat. What is the exposure? I want you to define the exposure. I'll read. I want you to define the exposure. Exposure. So you'll write exposure and then answer. As an exposure is the extent of loss the enterprise has to face when a risk materializes. It is not just the immediate impact, but the real harm that occurs in the long run. For example, the loss of business, failure to perform the system's mission. In the given example, asset is laptop, vulnerability is open gate, threat a person can enter. I want you to define exposure. Exposure and your answer. Then likelihood. Likelihood of the threat occurring is the estimation of the probability that threat will succeed in achieving an undesirable event. So what is likelihood? Likelihood is the probability that threat will, so person entering, the probability he is able to make that loss, that is likelihood. And attack, anything that may hit the three pillars, confidentiality, integrity, availability, that is going to be attack. Okay, so then let us complete the discussion. I wanted to ask another question, but waiting for the answer to the first question. Countermeasure, an action, device, procedure, technique, or other measure that reduces the vulnerability of a component or a system is referred to as countermeasure. Say, for example, in my example, countermeasure can be, I can keep a security guard. That becomes a countermeasure. So countermeasure against a vulnerability, a threat. Countermeasure to reduce the impact of vulnerability, to mitigate the impact of vulnerability. In the example, what is vulnerability? Open gate. What is threat? Someone can enter. How to counter that threat? Have a security guard. And the risk is any event that may result into significant deviation from planned objective, resulting in an unwanted negative consequences. That is risk. Now, because I have asked multiple questions, let us see the answers. Yeah. So trademark is also an asset. Good. So that it was basically availability. The last line was availability. Denial of services against availability. Okay. So Kavita has answered correctly. Kiran has answered correctly. Yes. Makya Bihari has answered correctly. Now, coming to exposure. Good. So I'm reading. Now this I'll read with full name and full answer. Manisha. Sorry, Kiran. Exposure, loss of laptop. Correct. Varsha. Person may harm for security of your business, may get access to your data. Yes. So data loss is a bigger loss. Exposure, loss of data. Jia. Then Madhuri, loss of data. Darshan. Damage to laptop. Cost, unable to. Yes. So this gets the first e-chocolate. Unable to carry out upcoming classes without the new laptop. This answer I wanted. We must be able to project the future probable loss. Great. Thank you, Darshan. Then M. Muthuraman, theft of laptop. Sunil Kumar. Okay, he is defined. Okay. Then Rajiv Kumar Singh, exposure, loss of asset or damage to studio. Very good, Rajiv. Miss Vaishali, exposure, information leak, that is on laptop. So yes, the person may not physically carry, but carry the information. It will be a larger loss. Yeah, okay, I'll explain Darshan attack again. Very good. So you have all answered the exposures correctly. Very good. So let us go back. So attack, to make it simple, attack is the result of the risk. The result. So in this case, suppose now the question that I wanted to ask is, suppose the exposure materializes. Exposure materializes. Whatever you have said. Exposure ho gaya hai. Nuksan ho gaya hai. The losses occurred. If this loss occurs, let me repeat the whole scenario again. Laptop is asset. Gate is open is vulnerability. Threat is a person can enter. Exposure, we have said, loss of data, loss of laptop. I may not be able to carry class without the laptop unless I get a new laptop. What is a countermeasure? I have a security guard. That is a countermeasure. Now, God forbid, it must not happen, but suppose the attack happens, I lost the laptop. Then this loss of laptop is going to hit which aspect of confidentiality, integrity, availability? In तीनों में से किसको hit करेगा? It can hit more than one also. If I lose the laptop, it is going to hit which aspect? Confidentiality, integrity, or availability? Then few more exposures have been brought. Very good, Swati. Time to recover data is exposure. Very good. Disturbance of communication, the time gap that we need to take care of. between communicating with the student and time to recover data. Very good. So then the question was that the loss of laptop is hitting which aspect? Confidentiality, integrity, or availability, or it can hit more than one. So Miss Madhuri says 3. So I read it as it hits all the 3. Then Amrit Lal Jain, confidentiality, Bhumika, availability. It attacks confidentiality, availability. Jia says loss of laptop is loss of data, confidentiality. Yes. So it can hit all. Availability, we all agree. Confidentiality, the right person need to have right access. So my data is gone. Integrity is the person must not be able to tamper with data. That also she can do. So it may hit all the aspects, all 3. Yes. So that is the huge. Sources. So where does risk come from? The origination of risk. The most important step in risk management process is to identify the source of risk, from where risk can occur. Okay, let me ask a very different question as I read. So there are 5 options. Okay, or let us say 5 options. Yeah. Asset, vulnerability, threat, exposure, and risk. 5. I'll do it again. 5 options. Asset, vulnerability, threat, exposure, and risk. Now, the question I'm putting to you is, I'm an entity. Which of the 5 I assess improperly, incorrectly? Which of the 5 I assess improperly or incorrectly will lead to maximum loss? इन 5 में से किसका असेसमेंट मैंने अच्छी तरह नहीं किया तो नुकसान सबसे ज्यादा होगा? आपके ऑप्शंस हैं एसेट, वल्नरेबिलिटी, थ्रेट, एक्सपोजर और रिस्क. 5 में से कोई एक सही जवाब. सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन टू लर्न. Okay, I'll read the question once I complete the sources part. So sources of risk. The most important step in risk management process is to identify the source of risk, the areas from where the risk occurs. This will give information about all possible threats, vulnerabilities, and accordingly appropriate risk mitigation strategy can be adopted. Some of the common sources of risk are commercial legal relationship, economic circumstances, human behavior, natural events, political circumstances, technology and technical issues, management activities and control, and individual activities. So these can be sources of risk. Broadly, risk has following characteristics: potential loss that exists as a result of threat, vulnerability process, uncertainty of loss expressed in terms of probability of such loss, probability likelihood that a threat agent mounting a specific attack against a particular system. So this is how you can define it, multiple ways. Then, because the header is changing, let us go to your answers. So I'll read the correct answer. Yeah. So the chocolate for this answer has to go to Bhumika, asset. So please understand, see, our visualization of asset is generally tangibles. Our visualization of asset is not intangibles. So if we don't have an asset recognition, asset identification, you know what will not happen? We will not have vulnerability assessment, threat identification, risk calculation, all that. So you basically start from asset. Yeah, so asset is, the question was improper documentation of asset. But let me do it like this. If I don't, suppose this mobile, I don't classify this an asset. What will happen? मैंने मोबाइल को asset कहा नहीं, क्या होगा? If I don't say this as an asset, I'll do nothing to control any associated vulnerability, threat, risk, because it is not an asset. So our generally how we relate is assets are tangible, assets are intangible. First, second, generally our understanding is assets those appear in books. In technology, there are assets which don't appear. The data that you have is not appearing in your accounting books. Understand? And just understand this laptop. Take this example. Someone loses laptop. Then the cost of the laptop may be 50,000, 1 lakh rupees, as the case may be. But the cost of laptop is virtually immaterial. The cost of data may be 1 crore, but this 1 crore value is not reflected in your books. So see, that is what goes wrong. First, our understanding of asset is generally tangible. We don't look to intangible. Now, if we are looking to both, we are looking to tangible as well as intangible. We look to assets which are part of the books of accounts. We don't look to assets which are assets but not part of books of accounts. Your data, your information, your people, they are all critical assets. So very important. Yes. Now, types. So business risk, technological risk, and data related risk. Let us read. Business faces all kind of risk relating to serious loss of profits, to even bankruptcy, and then it may include strategic risk. It includes reputation risk, leadership risk, brand risk, and changing customer needs. In fact, it's old, prior to COVID lockdown. BP is British Petroleum. So if you search through Google, probably 7-8 years back, they had a huge oil spill. One of their oil wells went berserk. There was a huge oil spill on the east coast of US. Huge spill. So it's an oil company. If there's a spillage, then they have to bear the cost. So the cleaning cost, the company borne, but then they had a budgeted expenditure of billions of dollars to make good what you may talk about as reputation risk. Huge issue. Then see each line. In fact, that is why probably 50 marks paper you have strategic management, because a lot of management concepts are merged here. So each of the word can be talked about in detail, huge detail. Leadership risk. So I'm just trying to give an example that when top management of a company, from one company, the individual, he or she goes to another company, the company he or she leaves, its business starts going down, the faith people have in the company goes down. So these are good reflection of leadership. Brand risk, brand value. You have multiple cases to talk about. Loss of brand value and changing customer needs. So these are all strategic risk. Then financial risk. This includes risk from volatility in foreign currencies, interest rate, commodities, credit risk, liquidity risk, market risk. So this can again be sources of risk. You just read through. So you must have read through that I'm just naming the countries rather. Argentina sometime back, then Zimbabwe sometime back, Afghanistan presently. So because Zimbabwe and Argentina sometime back, their countries central went bankrupt. So if you are holding those currencies, you lose value. So that becomes volatility in foreign currency like that. That interest rate, the present scenario of interest rate across the world is rates are going up. Risk to commodity, gold prices, silver prices are going up. Credit risk, all across the world, lot of thinking is being done on this. Liquidity, cash crunch. In fact, this 2008 is basically cash crunch. Market risk, market may respond in different manners. So these can be financial risks which have impact on your business. Regulatory compliance risk that could expose the organization to fines, penalties from a regulatory agency due to non-compliance with laws and regulations. Point number C is talking about a specific auditing standard. Point number C is talking about a auditing standard. I want you to name the standard with its number. Name and number of the auditing standard that is relevant for discussing point C. So we talked about costing and now we are talking about auditing. Don't worry, by the time we complete the whole paper 7A, we would have covered all your 9-10 subjects of inter. So regulatory risk, how regulation can have impact on your business like that. Very important. Operational risk that could prevent organization from operating in most effective and efficient manner. So this is operational risk. Hazard risk, natural disasters, impairment of physical assets, terrorism. Best example is attack on World Trade Center. Then, before we read point number F, there's a question to learn. Suppose I ask you, can risk be brought to zero by all countermeasures control? The answer is no. Whatever countermeasures controls you put in place, you cannot bring all risk vulnerability to zero. What remains is point number F, residual risk. इतने सारे कंट्रोल लगाने के बाद भी रिस्क जीरो क्यों नहीं होगी? Because you have read in your auditing, there is a concept of inherent limitations of internal control. So internal control you implement, they have their own limitations. So they cannot bring everything to zero. That is residual risk. Let us have a fast recap of all this: strategic, financial, regulatory, operational, hazard, and residual risk. Technological risk, I've asked a question. Let us read from the. Yes, Sri Lanka is a new example. Then Pakistan is in deep trouble. Yeah, good. So the e-chocolate for auditing standard has to go to Sunil Kumar. SA 250, I wanted name also, but okay, I'll take that. Consideration of other laws and regulations during an audit. SA 315 is relevant. Amrit Lal Jain, if I'm reading correctly, it is relevant, but the specific standard was SA 250. Audit risk, yes, and Harshita said inherent limitations of internal control. Great. So that is businesses. Then coming to next, that is technological risk. The best example is the business and technology have been so tightly integrated that if technology doesn't exist, business goes bankrupt. And then you have to tell me here in the chat, just imagine a business where the business going concern will be affected if say technology is near there. So you can give example in terms of non-availability of computer can hit, non-availability of software can hit, non-availability of internet can hit. So you have to tell me that this business is going to, its going concern will be affected if this is not there. Going concern to be affected. So you have to tell me two things: name of the business and nature of thing, that is technology that is not available for any reason. The dependence on technology in business process automation for most of the key business processes has led to various challenges. As technology is taking new forms and transforming as well, the business processes and standards adopted by enterprise should consider these new set of IT risk and challenges. It includes, now this is important, Downtime due to technology failure. Downtime is where that period of time where due to the technology component is not available. Because technology component is critical for business operation, the continuity is hit. Then frequent changes and obsolescence in technology, very important. Multiplicity and complexity of system, again very important. Different type of controls for different technologies. So there may be mismatch in the control and the technology. Proper alignment of the business objectives to regulatory requirement and dependence on vendors for outsourcing. So the technological risk. Vendor related, yes. Sometimes vendor gets angry and he tells, suppose vendor, your dependence on single vendor for a supply is very critical. So then vendor knows that, so he can blackmail you like that. Then there is no proper segregation of duty. Yes, jobs have to be defined, responsibility have to be assigned, and they need to be configured through what you may call as passwords, controls. What person can do, what she cannot do. External threats that you know. Higher impact due to intentional, unintentional act of internal employees. Yes. So just sharing, say, whenever you want to delete a file in your system, you give a command delete. So most of the time system asks, are you sure? So whenever you give a delete command, system will ask, are you sure? Why? Because system wants to tell you that, see, if you delete this, then just check whether you are ready for deletion. Deleting that data file may not affect your further operations. So this can be intentional as well as unintentional. Then new social engineering techniques. Social engineering is a type of fraud. In later part of our discussion, we are going to talk about it. It is there. It is in this chapter only. We'll be talking about social engineering. Social engineering, basically, we'll take with practical example later on. But right now, social engineering is emotionally getting information from your colleague or your employee. Emotional blackmail is like a word. The need for governance processes to adequately manage technology and information security. Proper framework has to be led. How it has to be done. Need to ensure continuity of business process in event of a disaster. Very, very, very important. Then data related risk, but there are questions. Let us read through. Oh, so Darshan is saying, sir, SA 250 is not in inter syllabus, but it is in CA like that. Okay. Shatrughan Prasad says Delhi. Meta, yes. UPI apps like Google Pay, Paytm, if yes. Okay, Shatrughan, I think is saying that if Delhi is not working, okay. And Delhi right now due to flooding, yes. Those in Delhi, they must be having huge risk. Please take care of yourself. So now we have given that this may not work due to internet. So I'm reading those. UPI apps like Google Pay, Paytm, then social media app will be down. Banking will be, so all headers are internet is not there, network is not there. Banking, Miso, Flipkart, Domino's, then Instagram, Amazon, Flipkart. Yes. Shivangini says e-commerce will be affected. Yes. Then Varsha says banking, Amazon, telecommunication, chartered accounting services, good. Company secretarial services, very good. Yes, Darshan. So even after delete, it goes to recycle bin, you can recover. So that means your system is having multiple stages to save you from risk of deleting that you may need in future. Good. Yes, online classes. So that is relating to technology. Very good. Then YouTube. Yes, YouTuber influencers. We are reading daily news on influencers in newspapers now. Okay, good. So it's a huge discussion. Okay. So few I'll be doing practically with you. And this is very important also. So data diddling. So data diddling is trying. Now these are risks. Okay, please understand these are threats. Risk. Data diddling is trying to modify data before, during, after processing. So person is unauthorizedly, he or she has entered the system and trying to modify data before, during, after processing. Right now we are reading the risk part, the risk. Okay. Then bomb. You sometimes call this as logic bombs. Now, logic bombs are like event driven, time driven malware, spamwares in your system. So on a specified date or event occurring, they crash your system. Like, say, for example, if the bomb is there in your system, it may ask for your date of birth. So system, you open your system, this logic bomb, these are spyware, malware, viruses. So it asks type of date of birth. Now, whenever system behaves in a personal manner, we enjoy, our system is asking my date of birth. So I give my date of birth. As soon as I give my date of birth, it's a triggering event for that bomb to blast, that logical bomb to blast. So and as soon as I give date of birth and type enter, my system crashes. So that becomes logic bomb. Then Christmas card, this, in fact, all please understand, any link that comes on your mobile, any link that comes from on your email, which is from an unauthorized, uncalled for, unsolicited, unknown source, please do not open that link. Okay. So through these cards, you may be hit by virus, malware, spyware. Then worms. Worms are malware, spyware. There's a key word that is associated with the worm that I want you to note. The word is self-propagating. Keep a note of this word, self-propagating. They send selves. If worms come in your system, it like virus generally needs a carrier. What is the carrier of the virus? A pen drive that you may use. The email attachment may have a virus. Worms do not generally use a carrier. They are self-propagating. So if worms comes in your system, it will automatically send itself to all the addresses that you may have in your email box. So that is worm. Now, rounded down and salami are two techniques which are used for financial frauds. So I'm showing you how they work practically. I'm showing you. Just give me a second. So I'll bring Excel and we'll learn both the techniques. We are learning round down and salami. Yes, junk messages. Avoid. So this practically will make it easy for me to explain and you to understand. So we are trying to learn both. So we'll do a very simple mathematics. 1, 2, 3, 4 is a number. I'll divide it by 7. So let us see how it goes. This is a result. I'll take the same number. Now, so how it works. So there is a command in Excel, round. Just give me a second. So it becomes 176. Suppose the same command I use here, but there is a additional word, round down. So I'll just tell you, I need to change the denominator to help you explain. Let us see. Yeah, this works. 1234 divided by 13. So let me do it here also. Yes. Now it will be clear. So when I do a normal rounding, so normal division is 94.9231. When I do a normal round, if you can see the function, it is round. The result is 95. But if I do round down on the same number, it is 94. This is rounded down. Now see, this is a very technical fraud. This has been done. Where does person does it? Where someone must have used it for the first time. So the person who would have used it in first time was somewhere in bank. So you know what he did? Like in your saving bank amount, the interest is credited. Okay, right now we are taking till 4 digits. Let us take it to 2 digits. This is the interest being credited. So 94.92 is the interest credited to my saving bank account. If banker credits 94.92, what that person did, he wrote a command in program to round down interest. So to my account, it will not be 94 rupee and 92 paisa. In my account, it will be 94 rupee. So there is a balance left, 92 paisa. This balance the person credited in a separate bank account and withdrew through ATM. 92 paisa is peanuts, but then multiply it. How many saving bank accounts State Bank of India has? 10 crores. So if you multiply 0.92 by 10 crores, I think it will be 9,20,000 each month. That much amount he could withdraw. So this is rounded down. So round down is bringing the integer to its lower value. If it is normal round, it is 95. But if you round down, it is 94. So it leaves a balance which can be skimmed off, taken away by the hacker. This is round down. Now we want to talk about the other technique, salami. Salami is like cutting. It's basically how you cut chicken. That is called as a salami technique. How does it work here? Let us see. Same, the result may be same, but the logic is different. So I'm sharing that. So now we are looking at salami technique. Okay. I need to redefine the command. No, let me redefine it. Okay, next. So now it is working. So what the person does, he cuts off 2 digits from the total number. So what he has done, he has picked the, and then he creates a difference and takes that up. So he basically cuts down the last 2 digits and take away that. So that is salami. So in salami, the concept is cutting down, and round down, it is rounding it to lower full whole number. So the value loss may be same, but because the way of doing it is different, so that is why there are 2 frauds to it. Okay. So back to our PPT. Just give me a second. So round down and salami. Then trapdoor. Trapdoors are doors where you capture a hacker. So you create trapdoors, but then that hacker moves away from that trapdoors. So that is spoofing, is creating a fake IP address. So it's a network attack. You can enter it system by creating a fake IP address. IP, you know, Internet Protocol. Then asynchronous attack. They occur now. Asynchronous is first understand the line itself. Okay. So asynchronous attack is basically relating to communication. So everything that is being done will be part of the communication network. Okay. They occur in many environments where data can be moved asynchronously across communication line. The attack uses the time difference. So what basically happens is what is asynchronous communication that we need to understand. So the speed of sender and the speed of receiver, there is a mismatch. That is asynchronous communication. Let me repeat it again. The speed at which sender is sending and the speed at which receiver is receiving communication, there's a speed mismatch, that is asynchronous. That is. So when there's a speed mismatch, the information may be say sent at a faster speed and the recipient is receiving at a slower speed. So suppose 10 data packets are sent in a second, but receiver can receive only say 6. So 4 data packets are here in the communication line. Those data packets can be hit. That is asynchronous attack. So what it can be? It can be through data leakage, subversive attack. Data may leak out. Someone may hit your system to capture that data. The wire through which the communication is being done, that wire can be broken. That is called as wire tapping. And piggybacking. Piggybacking is attaching yourself with the original message of the sender and entering into system. So while these 4 packets are waiting in the line, the hacker enters, attaches himself, becomes a 5th packet and enters. So piggybacking is entering system with a genuine user. Piggyback, logically entering into system. So data leakage, subversive attack, wiretapping and piggybacking. Yes, Shatrughan. That trapdoor, they make small traps like phishing attack. Good. Then risk management strategy. See, this topic is important. So here we want to take the break because this is going to be a very detailed discussion. I just want 10 seconds. Have you all gone through the MCQs? Say yes, no in the chat. MCQ आपने कर लिए हैं क्या? आपको yes, no करना है chat में. Be frank. Huh? No. Okay, then if you have not done the MCQ, we'll do it day after because I don't want to do it first hand with you. I want you to do it and then we want to discuss. So risk management strategy will take day after tomorrow. It's a very, very important topic. It may take more than the time you have allowed me to close the class 10 minutes. So I don't want to do it here. Okay, so a fast recap. We talked about business process automation, why automation, the need for automation, the factors which affect the success of automation, the steps of automation, and then we talked about risk, sources, types, and now we want to talk about the strategies. Any questions you have? This chapter, every lecture, I'll try to share MCQs. So I've shared for today's discussion. Wherever you get the PPT, there you will get the MCQs also. So kindly get the MCQs, go through them, and then we'll discuss day after tomorrow. Okay. So any questions for today? Last 30 seconds, and then we'll close for today. Yeah. Every day we'll share the chat score also. So yes, please. So Harshit is saying no questions today. We'll ask day after tomorrow. I'm ready for that. So our chat score today is 375. Great. So thank you. Thanks for participating hugely in the discussion. We'll keep it interactive. Come with any questions you have in your mind. Don't miss. Always ask question. In your mind, you may feel whether to ask or not. Ask. I'll do Christmas card and worm. Okay. So shall we close it? So good night. Bye.